Okay, so it had some time to dry. Incidentally, I did twist the little handles on the porthole. You can see because they're supposed to be horizontal. So that's all set. And we're ready to move on to the next part. And we're going to actually put some of the ribs on. And again, I apologize because I don't have the printing abilities to print it out, so I'm kind of looking off screen onto the laptop. So we're going to do the first rib that's going to go on the left side. So we need to take 8A and 8B. So when we look at this, B8A and B8B, and glue them together. So that would be these two right here. So let's get these off of the tree. All right, so this is A. And we got to make sure not to get them mixed up. Here's B. There we are. And I think what I need to do is file them down so these little pieces from the tree are gone. That's pretty good. And just one on this side. Doesn't take much to get it nice and clean. And we're going to do the same thing for this side. This actually looks pretty good. Okay, so the instructions, we got to glue them together. The rivet holes should line up. And these are really going to be tiny. So actually, this one is a little bit curved. So what I want to do is I want to straighten it out. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay. So these have to be glued together and then folded into the shape of a curve. So bear with me. I don't know if you're going to be able to see there are little rivet holes on there. And what we got to do is we actually have to line them up. Guys, in this instance, the needle nose pliers actually work better, the tiny little needle nose, than actually using the Photoetch. Because this piece, this Photoetch tool that I got from Paragraphics really isn't made for such a small, tiny little long piece as this section. All right, you can see that looks pretty good. See that? And what we got to do now is we have to make like a C. So they're curved, and we got to make sure that we're going to line up the rivets. And we're going to put just a little bit. And then we have to take this little rib and we're going to put it along this side right here. See where this piece, a little raised area? So that is where this is going to go. So hopefully you guys can see that. I know that is so tiny. And we're going to run it just a bit. Hopefully you guys can see that. All right, we're ready to move on to the next piece. And I think that's going to be a little bit longer, and that's going to be the next one over. So let's... All right. We have to fold this into the same kind of a C shape. We're going to do the same thing for the side with the rivets now. Yeah, see how they kind of want the C shape? I hope you guys can see that. So what we need to do is the side with the rivets are going to go up against the wall. So what we're going to do again, we're going to take some glue. All right. I hope you guys can see that. All right, so that's all done. So it looks like we need B10B for the next one. See, this looks like the one with the little corrosion in it. Let's move the piece over here. And we're going to get this section out. See that? And the other piece we need is B10C. And B10C, oh man, look at that little tiny part right there. So let's get this out. So we're going to bend this section down, and then we're going to put this tiny little thing right over there. All right, so this is going to be bent down. So let's, just like that. And that little piece, we actually have to glue that little section, that little piece, we got to glue right there. And that is going to go on top. Use the tweezers to show you guys. So that's going to go like that. And we need to take 10A, 10BA, and that's going to be next. So this section right here is 10BA, and that's going to go over there. So let's get this section out. All right, there's a little point on here, so that's going to go towards the bottom, but hopefully you can see the little perforations where we have to fold it. All right, and this little piece, it's going to go this way. All right, so let's put the glue on. Again, I hope you guys can see that. All right, so what's next? So in these little areas, all right, we got to put, let's see, it looks like we need to add, so these little tiny little B7s now, we got to put in these little areas right over there for the plates. So right now we need 3, so let's get 3 of them out. All right, so we got 3 of them. So I think we're going to put some glue in these areas. All right, hopefully you guys can see that now. And what this piece is going to do is we actually have to line up the bottom where it's going to be flush with what's going to be the floor piece that's going to go in there. So we need to put some glue on this rib. And we got to put this section right up against it. But we got to make sure it doesn't go below the floor level. See how it's got to be even with the floor? Well, the section that's going to be on the floor. Okay, for now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take all the frames, the ribs, and we got to fold them and we got to put them in the remaining sections. But there's one up against the porthole that's going to be bent, and you can see a perforation. So let's start to do them each individually. So let's cut them out one at a time, just because I don't want to get them mixed up. And we're going to do the same thing for the other side now. Yeah. See how tiny this is? And I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but on the inner part, you can see the little rivets. That's actually going to go up against the wall. Can you see that? All right, now we can move on to the next one. And again, we're going to do the bends, and the rivets are going to go up against the wall. See that? Now we got to glue this section on. Alright, I think I need to bring this one in just a bit. Just like that. Yeah, that's better. See how this is starting to look? Alright, let's move on to the next one. And once again, the rivet side, the bend, is going to go up against the wall. This one's a little bit, you can see the stress that it was under when the ship broke in half, or this piece broke off. You can see a lot of the stuff that's bent is actually meant to be there because of the immense stress this was under. Think about the amount of force that could do this to steel. And we need to put a couple more of the rivet plates that are going to be lining up where the floor is going to go. So let's get a couple of those ready. Hopefully you guys can see that. Alright, so we got 2 left. 2 of the ribs. So the rivets are going to go up against the wall. We're going to do that first. And there's also a bend in here that I want to show you guys, but let me bend this first because we need to angle it. So I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this, but we're going to actually bend this one a little bit near the porthole because it's going to simulate the stress that this was under. And it needs to be bent a little bit, just like the big piece is in this area where the girder is actually bent. So this is going to go like that. Alright, so let's put some glue in the spot. Alright, see how we got the bend? The one near the porthole. Alright, last girder that we need to put in. And this would be part, it looks like B15. Again, the section with the rivets are going to go up against the wall. Alright, let's glue it up, and I'm going to need this to set because okay, so we got all the ribs in. You can see we got all these sections in. Now this piece right here is the floor. So we've got the floor section. We got 2 of the floor sections and some more of the rivet plates. But we need to wait on that. I'm going to take you off the tripod because I want to show you guys. I just put it on a piece of paper because it'll be easier for you guys to see. And hopefully you guys can see what we did. We did the rivet plates that are going to go in for the flooring. And we did the ribs that are up against the wall. And I think we need to just let everything dry now, because everything is going to set, because it's still a little bit squishy because of the thick glue that I used to keep everything in place. So when this is dry, we're going to put in the floors, all the floor parts, and then we're going to put in the extra rivet plates, and that'll be the final assembly. We'll be ready to think about painting or priming it. But my friends, thank you for watching, and until my next video, I'll talk to you soon.